thing you've probably noticed by now is that we're creating roadmaps for every dimension of our business and every part of the effort we have to undertake to make sure they all match up. We can't say we're going to do one thing at a certain time and not supply the pieces to make that happen at that time. Be surprised how many times insight comes to our clients when we make them stack those maps one on top of each other down a wall and realize, uh-oh, that picture doesn't make sense. We're not doing the right things in the right order to accomplish what we say we're going to accomplish. Well, the talent and the competencies you need on your team are no different. We need to line up our plan to acquire and utilize talent in keeping up with all our objectives, our goals, our strategies, our product rollouts. There's a little bit more nuance to this, however, as well. First of all, the main thing I want to get you to think about as you build this map that goes beyond just timing of these talents is where you're going to get the talent and what forms of help you actually have available to you to draw on. Certainly, your team has to be built to have absolutely the right skills at the right time, and you can go back to the same timeline you've been using all along, we'll do that in a minute, and put the team members where they need to be, and not names, not titles, but skill sets. What do you need somebody to be able to do at what time so that you can make everything else above that line happen? That's pretty straightforward, but you learn a lot by doing it, by forcing yourself to commit to a timetable for when you're going to hire. The other side of this is, as you've reached out across maybe your company, your community, your customer set, talked to potential suppliers, you've been found access, you've met people who could be really helpful. So if you're in a company, one of the things that is very important to do is say, where's this expertise that can help me actually make this happen? Sometimes that's in the form of being someone who's got more clout than you, who's excited about what you're doing, who can kind of champion what you're up to, say good things about you to the right people, kind of run interference. That's a great set of help to have. And don't be bashful about reaching out to folks who can help you make this happen. There are a lot of people who want to see the company do great. There are people in the community who want to see new companies do great. They can champion you. They can run interference. But so the inside people are important. But even if you are, so if you're an entrepreneur, maybe I've already mentioned outside people, but if you're even mostly relying on an internal team, look outside as well. The mentors, the industry gurus, the people who just have that experience who could be an unofficial board of advisors for you is a critical thing, and most people don't take the time to be deliberate and ask for that kind of help. Now, sure, if you got a lot of money to spend, you can hire a top dollar executive coach, but that's not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just people who care about what you're doing and want to see good things happen, are willing to give you some advice. You might have found those when you talk to the trade associations. Doesn't matter where they are. The other thing that I have found surprises most, especially young, innovative folks just getting started, they're very surprised at how willing top, even well-known experts are to give help. A phone call can be amazing. I was working with a team one time where we had to talk to the world's expert in copper sputtering for circuit board technology. Got him on the phone for an hour. I don't know what that man's consulting rate is, but because I had a team of students who were trying to solve a problem and advised another young company along the way, said, yeah, I'll talk to you. Unbelievable value. Don't be afraid to ask. You can get help if you ask for it. Once you start assembling all that, or maybe even as you project, when are you going to need what kind of mentoring, what kind of expert are you going to have to tap? So both on your team, inside your company or community, and the out there people that you want to reach out to, put it down on your timeline. Make it make sense with what you're trying to accomplish at any given time, that same strategic timeline you've been working with. Put the talent and competency needs down on paper so that you can be thinking ahead, be prepared to have them ready and hired when they need to be, or added to your team. It's not complicated, but if you don't think about it, you'll end up waiting and you won't have what you need when you need it. Here's an example of a talent map that was created for the company that we talked about a little while ago, who makes great products out of coconuts. As you can see, they had to add a financial person pretty early on. The inventor was ready at the next step to turn over the CEO role. Then they needed a director of sales. When they found out they had to buy a factory so that they could get that quality and constant supply chain, they had to have a plant manager. Well, what were those people supposed to bring? They're supposed to bring certain type of competencies, certain kind of talent and skills. And by mapping it out, it made it very straightforward for them to stay on track, get the right people at the right time. That's all you need to do. Now, the number side of the business is the scariest part for some of you and the most fun part for others. We're going to do it in very simple terms, so when we come back and learn how to translate everything you know about the plan you've just made into dollars and cents, so that you can communicate it in a way that resonates with financial people even though you're not one.